Lacy Kelly, and I'm the CEO of the Association of California Cities, Orange County. And we're in Costa Mesa today doing one of a series of our city leadership interviews with Costa Mesa City Manager Tom Hatch. And we're very excited today because Tom has orchestrated having Costa Mesa TV actually tape the interview, so we're glad about that. Thank you very much. And we're at the Orange County Fair. This is, I think, the third week of the fair, and we're excited to be here, so you get to see all that's going on in the background, and we'll just get into our city leader interview now. I want to thank you for taking the time to do this and filming with us.
Yes, Lacy, this is fun for me as well. It's the day-to-day grind. It's nice to reflect on kind of the things that are happening in a beautiful day in a beautiful setting. So thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, one of the things we want to get into first is if you can just sort of tell us about your background. Start with where you were born and where you grew up and what your childhood was like, school, finding your family, all of that.
Okay. I'm a person that's been involved in local government for about 25 years. Grew up and was born and raised in Covina, West Covina area. My mom still lives in the same house that she's been in about 60 years when she moved out from back east in the early 50s. And then I went to the local schools there, Covina High School. And from Covina High School, went to Mount San Antonio Community College. Met my wife there, received an AA degree from Mount Sac. Went on to Cal State Fullerton and finished my bachelor's degree in political science and obtained a master's degree also from Cal State Fullerton in public administration. And so that educational background is very helpful in terms of the things and the challenges that we have on a daily basis. But my career itself started as a volunteer intern for the city of Walnut, small little contract city, and from Walnut was able to get a position in North Orange County for the city of Brea. Spent about 6.5 years for the city of Brea. From Brea, moved to South Pasadena as a director of community services. Okay. That included parks and recreation, transportation, those kinds of things. Short time in South Pasadena, moved on to the city of West Covina, my hometown, and was there about 3.5 years in a larger department, a larger environment, capital projects, built a skateboard park, built a gymnasium, and then managed a larger staff with a variety of different programs. And from there, moved on to the city of El Monte as a deputy city manager, managing more maintenance, transportation, recreation programs, and all those kind of things that provided a broad spectrum and for me and to reflect on throughout my career and a lot of different experiences. And from El Monte, the sixth city I've worked in is now the city of Costa Mesa. All of those were great opportunities. Someone says, wow, you moved around a lot. Yes, I have, but they were a lot of great opportunities and experiences that help a city manager manage a broad spectrum of services. And so became the assistant city manager in Costa Mesa about 5 years ago, and about from the last 1.5 years been the CEO for the city of Costa Mesa.
Excellent, excellent. And when was the first point in time when you knew I want to be a city manager?
Yeah, it really clicked for me. I was always generally interested in government and how government can impact the daily lives of all of us. But it really clicked for me meeting my wife at Mount Sac and getting involved in local government. I was more of a sports guy in high school. I thought kind of ASB was a little goofy in my mind, but getting involved in student government and being able to work with her for a whole year kind of really made it click that, wow, we are impacting the lives of students, and I could see that role in terms of a local city and how this person can really have an impact on a community, and that's when it really clicked for me.
Always in awe of the city manager profession, so thanks for sharing that. You've been on the job 1.5 years as the CEO of Costa Mesa. During some of the most tumultuous and difficult financial times for cities in local government history, and yet in knowing you and working with you, you are able to maintain this superior equanimity through all that you do. And I'm wondering, what's your secret? How do you do that?
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes is, necessity is a mother of invention. And from my perspective, we have had a very difficult time in Costa Mesa with wanting to make a significant structural change in a very short amount of time. That was very difficult. My style and approach is who I am. This is me, and it did fit perfectly with what we needed at this time. The council wanted to feel like they had somebody that was going to help move their interest and agenda forward, and that is me. That is my role. But also, I'm a good listener, and the community and the employees also felt like their interests were going to be listened, were going to be taken into account, and so all those diverse interests and expectations were pulled together by me, and I did that fairly well. And if I reflect back on last year and a half, all of those expectations and challenges did get pulled together, did get considered, and that was needed at that time, and it is my natural style, and so that came together well in terms of being able to grapple with all those challenges, but do that effectively.
Okay, well, I'm hearing that you like a challenge.
I like a challenge. The level of challenge that we have gone through and are still going through was much more than I ever thought possible.
Sure.
But at the same time, I do feel some sense of pride in our council, in myself, in our employees, in the community, and that we were engaged and involved in working through some difficult issues.
Absolutely. You mentioned your staff, and I really appreciated a couple of months ago you invited me to come and visit with your staff, share what my organization has for staff and electeds and city leaders. And as I sat around the table of all of your staff leadership, I got such a sense of camaraderie and teamwork. And how is it that you keep your staff motivated working in these difficult times?
Well, first, you know what, I do want to talk about how the ACC-OC has been an instrumental leader for cities. And so besides all the other groups that we've relied on, ACC-OC has stepped up and broadened its mission from one of more of a legislative advocate and kind of a group that kind of pulls some interest together to one of a support mechanism and one of a ability to train and work together with cities about being innovative and creative about coming up with practical solutions. So it compliments to you and your style and approach and ACC-OC's efforts to pull communities together and train us all. And so our staff, we have an outstanding staff. When I reflect back on the last year and a half, there's been tremendous change with the leadership team that you saw. And so we went from a group that was a lot of interim people to one that I feel very proud of, that we've hired some talented folks that have filled in roles, that had a style and approach that is cooperative yet challenging. And we've looked at each other and said, we need the best solutions. We can't not share our thoughts, the demands of what we're under. We've got to be supportive. We've got to be challenging of each other, and all of that together has created, and hiring some great folks has created a sense and environment that is healthy. I also feel that my approach is, and I'm just smart enough to know I don't know everything about the police department, the fire department. So we've got to be a team. We've got to rely on each other, yet challenge each other, that we come up with the best innovative and efficient solutions as we move forward. And so I am proud of that team. You did see a good spirit in the room, and there is a lot to be proud of there.
Yeah, well, you're to be commended. Congratulations on that. You mentioned innovation. And I know you guys are working on a lot of changes within your own city. One of the things that we're focused on ACC-OC level is we have a committee devoted to looking at government innovation and how can cities really deliver municipal services in ways that are more efficient and save taxpayer dollars, because local government is changing and resources are changing. So what are some of the things that Costa Mesa is doing in terms of innovating and delivering municipal service?
Yeah. As I said, I already said it once, but necessity is the mother of invention, and it's so important to me because in local government and government in general, we can't do what we've done in the past. It is a wholesale change in a new direction for government. And what, if I reflect on what have we done I have some specific examples that I'll share with you, but if I look at the bigger, broader picture, it's the fact that we've studied so many things about how we have to do it differently to ensure that we're sustainable, that we're providing services that we need to provide, that we're ensuring that we have the budgets to do all the other infrastructure needs and do all the other things that the government needs to do. We can't just do the basics that we've done before. We have to do so much more, and the expectations are higher, that we have to do those things in a way that's innovative, creative, and efficient. And so if I had to reflect on that, we have done those studies and challenged ourselves every step of the way to be as innovative and creative as we can be. Beyond that, if I had to point you a couple particular things, our budget situation, how we've restructured the budget to ensure that we have resources in every different way, and that specifically cutting costs where we no longer have a sustainable model. Our helicopter service, for example, we had an outstanding helicopter program. It was second to none. We were sharing those services with Newport Beach, but the cost of that annual program was somewhere in the range of $1.5 to $2 million a year. We enjoyed having a local system that provided service to just a few different communities. That was unsustainable. We are now have terminated that program and are using services from Huntington Beach that was providing a similar service right next door. And so now we're sharing those services at a cost of about $300,000. They're happy because they have a broader patrol area. We're providing them some revenue that helps reduce their cost, and it's more of a larger sustainable model that we need to move to. I think even that model needs to look at sharing services with Santa Ana and Irvine, and in particular helicopter. Those kinds of regional programs need to have input and advice from many cities, not just a few of us. We need to think broader than just our boundaries.
Excellent, that's good to hear. Okay, well, I'll look forward to seeing that submitted. We are launching the Golden Hub of Innovation Awards through the association, trying to reward cities who have done entrepreneurial types of things, efficiency, taxpayer dollars saving programs and strategies that innovate and do municipal services in new ways. So please submit that.
I'm proud of that, because you're going to see, we could probably submit 10 or 20 different applications because our staff and community and everyone, the council together, there's been so many things that we've studied and changed and done well that we're really proud of that. So
Excellent.
Those are coming.
We'll look forward to seeing them. Okay, next up, your city council changed your title from city manager to CEO, which I think sent a very strong message to the business community that Costa Mesa intends to be business friendly and intends to operate not like a business, but with good business principles. Can you describe, you've had a long history of a good relationship with your business community. I'm sure you're having to retool that in some ways, but that strong message, what did that mean for your business community, and how are you living that new title?
Sure. It was different. It was a change that was saying we're really not going to do business as normal. And the reality is, I think government does need to operate more like a business. You said it as well. We are not a business. We provide some things that are just quality of life issues and senior programs, and a lot of things that don't make any money, but that's part of the services that we provide. And so it's a balance between ensuring that we're providing services that are beneficial to the community, but doing them, constantly thinking about doing them in a business approach. And so our business community appreciates that as well. There's a lot of changes and challenges in the private sector. They can relate to me a little more as a CEO versus a city manager. I think when they come in and I meet with our key leaders, business leaders, they have a sense of what my role is versus what does a city manager do, and so that's a good change. Costa Mesa is blessed with great transportation infrastructure, great business infrastructure, incredible climate, all these wonderful things that attract businesses to the community. In addition to that, we have a rich history of providing very low fees and taxes to the business community. That's been important to our current and past councils, and so that business approach has welcomed new businesses, and I think they've appreciated the streamlining of processing of permits and all the little basic things that are important to businesses that we've done well as a little local community. And so that's been effective and helpful. But also in terms of a CEO, I need to be a leader in the business community, in our council, in the general community, but to our employees as well. And so as the CEO, one of our key challenges as we move forward is pension reform, and I've taken on approach as a leader and voluntarily increased my contributions to our retirement plans. We have some retirement plans that are unsustainable if we continue. One way to help reduce those costs to the community is employees contributing more to their own retirement, and so I'm now contributing 10.5% of my retirement, which is the max that I can contribute, and I did that voluntarily. Of the 27% of my benefits that are being paid towards my retirement. So I appreciate, so I'm paying about 10.5, the city's paying about 16.5, and hopefully we'll continue to increase that and make that more sustainable, not only for executives, but for all segments of the employee base.
Right, Tom, that's impressive. You know, we have been working on pension reform through the association since our existence the last year and a half, and it's nice when city leaders lead by example, and you're to be commended for doing that. I don't know if you know this, I think you do, but we came out with some pension reform principles that now 22 cities in Orange County have moved towards, either one or all four of those principles, things that they can do because some things need to be changed at the state level. But that all is a symptom of the current economic times that we're in, and it's like I said, an unprecedented time for cities. We saw the complete dissolution of redevelopment agencies, 425 of them in the state of California, worth billions of infrastructure and economic activity in Orange County alone. The state has continued to take portions of your VLF, your law enforcement funding, sales tax, property tax, and here you are having to continue on delivering municipal services. Those, in my mind, are trends where we're not probably going to see some of those things come back. As a city leader, what trends do you see, and how are you adjusting to those in terms of your long-term view of how to manage a city? How is that going to change based on all this? Yeah.
Just reflecting back, because I'm not going to let you get away without highlighting the effective work of ACC-OC. The Pension Reform Committee and the various committees that you have allow local leaders that are focused on their cities to be involved regionally, and I know many of our council members participated specifically in the Pension Reform Committee, and those critical joint outcomes from those committees are important because not one little city can make all the pension reform that we need. And so you're, again, to be commended as well about allowing us, and that learning and process has made us better. In terms of where I see some trends going, clearly the idea of pension reform is vital. Most of our budget is related to employee costs, salary and benefits. We're a service organization. We don't have a lot of other products. We have police and fire personnel providing services out in the community. And so to manage our budget, to ensure it's sustainable, we need to get those key costs in line and in a sustainable form. Pension reform is critical to moving us forward. It's critical to us building trust and support in the community. When members of the community hear about a very, very lucrative pension benefits, some people feel it's unfair, that local government doesn't feel the effects of recessions as much, and that employees aren't at a par with private sector employees. And so to ensure credibility, to ensure that we have our trust of our local residents. We need to be more in line with the sustainable pensions, and so that is a trend that has to continue. We're already seeing some things in our little local community that I feel really good about, and the community should, and the council should as well, in terms of there is movement in that direction, and that is happening. So I want people to know that in a good way. But it's also happening regionally, and other cities are looking at doing that as well, and so I'm proud of that. The other key trend, and I've touched on it already, is that we need to live within our means. We can't simply grow our workforce or grow our services at the height of our revenue streams. Revenue is going to go up and down. This recession caused so much havoc locally and regionally and nationally and internationally that we need to respect the changes that have happened, and we can't just go back to business as usual if our revenue streams do increase in the future. I hope they do. But we can no longer provide services at such a high level and with so many staff that it's unsustainable. We used to have 611 full-time employees. Now we have about 460. That is more sustainable, but even that, we need to continue to look at doing business differently and with fewer personnel, and use technology, use innovation to help us move forward. And so I see pension reform and living within our means and the creative approaches to living within our means as vital trends for us as we move forward.
You speak like you've been on the job of the city manager, city CEO for years and years and years. Yeah. And in working with you, I certainly see you as a seasoned professional. We're looking at a time when many city managers are going to be retiring while you're kind of just getting into your game. And there's going to be a lot of new city managers, not just in Orange County, but all over the state, probably in the country. And you'll probably be a mentor, certainly through our organization and otherwise. What type of advice would you give to up-and-coming city management, city CEO professionals?
Yeah. Boy, I have so much advice. It's been one of those things that if I had to reflect on one key piece of advice, it's the ability to listen. I'm just, again, smart enough to know that I don't know everything, and every city is different. Costa Mesa has its style that doesn't translate well if I had that same leadership style in Newport Beach or Irvine or Santa Ana or Huntington. It doesn't fit. It fits Costa Mesa, and I'm modeled my style off of the hopes and dreams of the residents, of the council, and listen to them over my 6 years here, and taken that to heart about what are the kinds of things that they want to see for Costa Mesa, use my experience and molded that into a strategy to move those forward. And so be smart as incoming folks growing in this profession, that you need to fit your style to the needs of the residents.
I love that. I love that. Spoken like a real pro. So I know through all of this time that you have been a city manager that it has been a little bit more than 40-hour-a-week job. I'm wondering how it is that you balance, again, going back to that equanimity you always seem to have that I enjoy experiencing around you. How do you balance your personal life, you have a family, and your job?
Yeah. I'm usually very, very good at that. The last year and a half, I haven't been very good at it. The need, the level of challenge, the issues that we've had have required my full attention and required every ounce of energy that I've got. I go home and there's really nothing left at the end of the day. But I do reflect on who I am as a person. I love my job. I love this community. It's not all who Tom Hatch is. I see myself as a son. I see myself as a husband, as a parent. I have 2 wonderful daughters, and I'm very good at those jobs as well. And so when I go home at night, I'm focused on being the guy that needs to help the kids that get to certain events. I'm a volunteer in this community. I'm heavily involved at Costa Mesa High School. My wife's been the PTA president. We are engaged in the community in other ways besides just my job. And that's that's made me a whole person, and that's made me a better person.
What is your proudest accomplishment to date as the Costa Mesa City Manager?
Yeah, I reflect back on my style and approach and how that has made people feel like Tom is working for them too. Every member of the City Council is, I hope, and I believe strongly, feels like Tom is working for them, helping to achieve their individual goals and their collective goals. And so the council has felt like that. The community has felt like Tom has moved forward with the council goals in a way that collectively looks at the community's broad interest and it takes into account everything to move those forward, like I mentioned before. And so I'm really proud of my approach and style, and that's been needed as we move forward, and that has worked. The other key thing I want to talk about briefly was an idea that we had locally about our homeless task force. We have homeless issues in Costa Mesa that have created some different interest in the community in a way that some members of the community have wanted to simply drive out all homeless, and that we're too accommodating and we should be take a harsh approach to pushing people out of this community. Another sector of our community has wanted to help everybody in Orange County, and we've wanted to look at being a regional solution as a local community. Well, that's not fair either, in the sense that we are a local community and we can't solve all of Orange County's homeless issues, but we came together with a united 5-0 council and united community about, here's what we're going to do to move forward. We're going to help solve Costa Mesa's homeless problem in a way that is very innovative and thorough for those that are our responsibility. We're going to help people in a way that no other community does, but we're going to limit that scope to Costa Mesa. We can't be all of Orange County's solution. So that brought us together with the faith community and with the broad service providers and with people that had some concerns about all those interests came together in a real unique and innovative approach that's really moving us forward together to solve those issues. Okay. So those are a couple of things I'm most proud of.
Excellent. Well, you say that it doesn't sound like much, but it does sound like much. I do remember some of the controversies surrounding that issue in your city, and collaborative leadership is what it's all about. You're definitely demonstrating that you know how to do that, and it's impressive. Is there anything else that you want to add?
Let's see. Again, I'm blessed to be the CEO for Costa Mesa. It's such a important role, and I humbly take it and just relish in the fact that I do have the ability to impact how our community moves forward, and so I'm so blessed about that. Also blessed that we have incredible weather in Costa Mesa, but we're also blessed about the people who we are in Costa Mesa. Our style, our approach is really second to none. I love the community members in here. Also, tonight is the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and when I reflect on Costa Mesa, we have some of the top athletes in the world come from Costa Mesa. Sharon Day, who's a heptathlon athlete, is really looked at as one of the best athletes in the world. She comes out of Costa Mesa High School and Costa Mesa. She's competing in 7 different events. Misty May Trainer, who's a former gold medal champion from 2008. She's again competing in the Olympics. A proud Costa Mesa, grew up in Costa Mesa and still connects with Costa Mesa. Also April Ross, who is a volleyball player as well, lives and grew up in Costa Mesa, and so we wish them well in their Olympic challenges in the next few weeks. Look forward to enjoying the fair in the next few weeks, and again, thank you for the opportunity to sit down with you and for what ACC-OC does for professionals like myself in moving this profession forward.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't expect that, but thank you. I want to thank you too for taking the time with us, and we have a commitment to sharing good leadership skills across all areas of the county and beyond, and I appreciate your time and allowing the filming crew to film us today so that we can get this out to a broader audience. And so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.